The Indian Army has released a request for information for the purchase of 500 protected mobility vehicles for high altitude and 700 protected mobility vehicles for standard altitude, and is looking to identify vendors who can undertake the project. The protected mobility vehicle for standard altitude should be a wheeled 4x4 drive mode vehicle with automatic transmission, operable at an altitude of 9,000 feet, and must have a minimum STANAG Level 2 ballistic protection. It must have a speed of 80 km per hour on road and 40 km per hour on cross-country, with a seating capacity for 10 personnel excluding the crew, and a payload capacity of 2 tons. It must have a detachable mount for 7.62 mm light machine gun, and should have 360-degree rotation turret on roof, and a minimum of 11 firing ports. The requirement for the protected mobility vehicle for high altitude is also same, except that it must have a higher power-to-weight ratio of 27 horsepower per ton, and must be operable at an altitude of 17,000 feet. The delivery of both the vehicles must be completed within 12 months from the date of signing of contract. Indian officials have started talks with the Malaysian government to increase its annual palm oil import from Malaysia to 5 million tons via counter trade, which is an increase of 67% over the average import. India has proposed to pay Malaysia for the additional palm oil purchase with essential commodities as well as sale of military equipment including the Tejas fighter jet. Indian High Commissioner to Malaysia B.N. Reddy has said that India's demand for more Malaysian palm oil would enable Hindustan Aeronautics to easily meet this bid requirement, and purchase of 18 Tejas light combat aircraft by Malaysia against counter-trade in palm oil is a win-win proposition for both countries. The Indian Navy is looking to procure 50 units of Buoyancy gliders with replaceable mission payloads that will be used for oceanographic data collection, intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance missions, and detection and classification of underwater targets to support anti-submarine warfare, mine countermeasures and naval special warfare mission areas. A buoyancy glider is a type of autonomous underwater vehicle that employs variable buoyancy propulsion and has an endurance of thousands of kilometers. The Defence Acquisition Council will be meeting at the end of this month and will decide the course of action for the foreign companies that have practically defaulted from their offset commitments after bagging multi-million-dollar military contracts from India. That includes French firms Dassault Aviation, Safran and Thales, Russian Aircraft Corporation, Israel's Elbit Systems and Rafael Advanced Defense Systems, US firm Boeing, and British firm BAE Systems. The Defense Ministry will give last and final warning to these firms that if they do not deliver on their offset promise, the government would be forced to ban them from any future bidding in Indian programs. All these foreign companies have $13 billion offset commitments, but have executed only $2.4 billion in the last 15 years. Advanced Weapons and Equipment India Limited, that has been carved out of the Ordnance Factory, has successfully proof-fired 155mm 52 caliber ammunition, thus proving its capabilities to manufacture 52 caliber ammunition that can be used in the ATAGS, K9 Vajra self-propelled howitzer, and upcoming truck-mounted howitzers. The Indian Civil Aviation Minister has asked Beta Technologies, which has a partnership with the US firm Blade Group, to explore the Indian market for electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, and establish a manufacturing base in India to export to the rest of Asia and the world, and also look at service routes in India. The US Air Force and the Canadian Air Force have recently started deploying electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft.
Omar dropped it.